In this video we take a look at the 4 brand new cars added to Gran Turismo 7 and its latest update. But hang on, I hear you say, you said 4 cars in the intro, there's 5 cars there. Well yeah, that's true, there are technically 5 cars added in this game. However, as you can see by the picture, 2 of them are the same car. All they've done is said that there's an on-road version and an off-road version. So for the purpose of this video, we will be ignoring the off-road one. I'll cover that in another video and we'll just focus on the road going version. That said, let's get into it. And for the purpose of this video, I'll put them in ranking order of my opinion of their value to the game. And we'll start off with this one, the Citroen DS21 Palace. And quite frankly, what a piece of junk. Why? How did they even come up with the idea that this would be a good addition to the game? It's slow. Oh my god, is it so slow. Yes, we could tune it up of course, but at the end of the day, it's still always going to be a slow car. It handles like a barge because it just doesn't handle. And this is a 50-year-old car. Granted, it has 50-year-old car brakes, 50-year-old car acceleration, 50-year-old car looks. I mean, oh my god, it's ugly. It's so ugly. But the other thing is, like I said, it's a 50-year-old car. Why is it in a modern day racing simulation like Gran Turismo 7? People are not going to use this. They might buy it and then they'll stick it in the garage and they won't use it again. But if you're like me, a little bit perfectionist, and you want to get all the cars in your garage, yes, you're going to buy it. In fact, I would recommend buying it. It was only 49,000 credits or 50,000 credits. And drive it once. But I guarantee you, after you've done a lap, you won't want to drive it again. You will be begging to get into something that, well, something that deserves to be in this game. Something that faster, looks better, handles better. This doesn't. This does not get a tick in any box, in my opinion. And that's why I rank it 4th. And a deserved 4th. It's the worst of the bunch. And next up we come to this, the Italdesign Xeno, however you want to pronounce it. And compared to the Citroen, it looks a bit better. And it's quicker. My god, is it quick. In fact, when I took it on its first lap, I completely misjudged it. And as you see, I ended up in my kitty litter. Because this thing is fast. But that's not a good thing when it's uncontrollable. I mean, it's just way too fast. You cannot control it properly. Now, yes, I could have put racing soft tyres on it, but with all my reviews, I do it in standard setup as you buy it. And I wouldn't say it's undrivable. You have to stick some traction control on, you have to be very careful. And, well, basically, it's just not fun. And what's the point in having a car in the game that's not fun? I mean, look at the ground clearance for a start. I've seen tractors that are closer to the ground than that. It's one of those cars that it's a little more style over substance. In fact, it's a lot more style over substance. It's just not fun. And in my opinion, that's why it gets the 3rd place, because driving it didn't really put a smile on my face at all. And the other thing with this car is it doesn't have a cockpit or behind the wheel view. Now, I'm fairly sure it wasn't me, it wasn't a glitch, it just doesn't have it. I couldn't go into the inside of the vehicle. I kept cycling through, but it just kept giving me outside views. And so, that was another thing. When you compare that, or this, to the, say, the Lamborghini VGT or the Ferrari VGT, both of which look fantastic from the inside. I mean, they are vision cars. They look like you're sat in some kind of spaceship. They look fantastic. You get a sense of drama, a sense of theatre. This, you didn't. It was missing. It was almost like, nah, we've done the outside. That's all we need to do. It's finished now. And so, bad choice. And finally, things start to get a little better with this Porsche 911 Carrera RS 901, and this is a beautiful car. I mean, don't get me wrong, well, it's still a Porsche. You try and be a smart ass or start to take liberties and it'll just spit you off the track and you'll be having lunch with Barry R. But apart from that, this car is great. Handles well, looks fantastic, sounds good. I mean, for its day, this car was phenomenal and it earned its iconic status just simply by the amount of events it won, and it did win a lot. And yes, this car does deserve to be in the game, although that's the other thing, it's a Porsche. How many Porsches do we actually need in Gran Turismo 7? I think there's probably more Porsches than any other make in the game. I mean, come on Palafoni, lay off the Porsches a little bit now guys. We've got all the good ones. There are thousands of other cars out there that deserve to be in the game, so let's get them. And finally we come to this, the car that I consider to be the best of the bunch in the new update, and a car that I have been waiting for ever since it was leaked that this was going to be in the game. It is of course the Honda RA272. And very much like the Porsche, this is a car that earned iconic status mainly through its sporting racing achievements. It just won everything in its day, and it was and still is a fantastic car. Now, I have a bit of a soft spot for open wheel cars. I love the old classics like this, so yes, I'm a little bit biased, but it looks fantastic. It sounds even more fantastic, and it handles well. It's basically an F1 car of its day. Of course it's going to handle, but it's not just the looks and the handling, it's the whole package. I mean, yes, it's the looks and the handling, but it's the way it drives. It just feels so good. It accelerates very quickly, it corners brilliantly, but the highlight for it is when you get into this view, driving it from inside the cockpit. It's just fantastic. The way that the chassis bobs up and down on the suspension, that you can see the suspension working, and like as we're coming up to now, when we hit the braking point, you see the nose dip and the suspension rise, and that little bit of chassis roll as you take it through the bends. I mean, this is wonderful, and the noise, you get to hear that engine so much better when you're sitting and driving it in this view. I mean, I can't wait for my PSVR 2 to arrive so I can drive this in VR mode. I mean, I will just be grinning like a proverbial Cheshire cat. This car, in my opinion, is one of the best cars now in Gran Turismo. Not just for the speed, but overall for the theatre, for the fun. And buy this one. If you've got enough credits, buy it, take it out, run it round, and I guarantee you, you will have a great time. This is definitely a worthy #1 in my opinion. For more great videos like this one, follow this link. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.